Yo, what's going on, guys? So if you haven't already seen, there is a new developer note out. I'm sorry I'm a day or two late on it. Things have been crazy. I've been trying to move and kind of get my everything in order. There's been a lot of stuff going on, but let's get right into it. So there is a new developer note coming out talking about a new multi-battle feature as well as artifact renewals. So let's break it down into two parts. I'll timestamp it in the video if you just want to see one or the other, but let's go through it as it comes through. So multi-battle feature update. There's a bunch of memes. If you haven't had a chance to see it already, check out this interview with one of the Com2Us developers. Check it out. Pretty cool. Or sorry, not developers. The game design lead. So basically, the TLDR on it is you can now run repeat battles and other battles at the same time. So we can do a lot of PvP content while also doing repeat battles. The content that it supports, we can do arena. We can do world arena, so RTA. We can do guild battles, siege, Tartarus lab, trial of ascension, dimensional rift, world boss. We can look at transmogrifications. We can set placements for defenses for arena, guild battles, and siege. And we can watch replays in RTA, which is pretty cool. I know a lot of people are kind of disappointed that there's no auto feature for TOA, but I think this is a pretty good, kind of middle ground. Not really. I personally don't think that we need to or should have auto repeat TOA, but I mean, that's just me as an ex-TOA racer. So either way, I think it's a pretty good change overall. As you can see, they're adding menu icons throughout the different parts of the game. So you'll be able to click into this, manage your auto repeat from there. I think this is a great idea. I think it's going to help people with time. It will theoretically make you run out of crystals faster if you're someone who plays RTA or does other content. But at the same time, it gives you more freedom to do other things with your time. You can either play other games, you can look at more builds, you can play around with your rune manager more often. Just more freedom is really the way I see it. So I don't think it's a bad change at all. I think it's a nice addition. I don't think it's something that we absolutely needed, but I'm happy to have it. So overall, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. 10 out of 10 would be it's perfect for everyone, but there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10 update, right? All right. Besides that, if you want to see the gameplay demo of how it looks, you can click here. I'll link the dev note below if you guys want to check it out. The second part of this that is really important that I want to talk about, this is going to be a big majority of the video, is Substat properties of artifacts will be improved as follows. So now there's different parts I want to break this down into. The first thing is we're going to go over everything they change in the dev notes. The second thing is I'm going to talk about the things that I like. Then I'm going to talk about the things that I dislike. And then I'm going to talk about things that I think were kind of lost in the idea of what they were planning on doing. And then I'll give you guys my overall response with that. So in order to improve the effect of some subproperties, the value of stats that increase from power-ups will be increased. So crit damage, recovery, and accuracy, instead of being 3 to 6%, are now 4 to 6%. It's pretty good. Attribute artifacts, damage dealt to elements, damage received from elements, now from 3 to 5% and 4 to 6%. So damage dealt, they increase the minimum and the maximum by 1. For the damage received, they increase the minimum by 1. Flat attack, defense, and speed gained proportional to lost HP up to a percentage of your lost HP has been improved drastically from 3 to 6% to 8 to 12%. Speed increasing effect minimum has been increased from 3% to 4%. Damage by counterattack and damage by attacking together has been increased from... bomb damage, crit damage received, and has all been increased from 1 to 3% to 2 to 4%. Life drain has been changed from 1 to 3% to 5 to 8%, a pretty significant change there. HP when revived as well as attack bar when revived has gone from 1 to 3% now to 4 to 6%. Additional damage by a percentage of your max HP. They've increased the minimum value from 0.1 to 0.2. And attack increasing effect has been increased from 2 to 4 to 3 to 5. So as well, the following subproperties will no longer occur from acquiring artifacts or powering up artifacts after the 6.2.0 update. So crit rate increasing effect has been removed. Speed under inability effect has been removed. Damage received under inability has been removed. Damage dealt by reflect damage has been removed, and crushing hit damage has been removed. The following subproperties will now be available from acquiring artifacts or powering up artifacts. So these are brand new. We're now getting one that says crit damage up to N% as the enemy's HP condition is good. It's 4 to 6%. So this means that you will deal more damage if the enemy's HP is high. So similar to the way Perna skill 2 works, if the enemy is max HP 100%, you'll deal more damage with that skill than if they were at, let's say, 50% or 30% HP. Crit damage percent up to N% as the enemy's HP condition is bad is now 5 to 8%. This is the complete opposite of that. This is more of an execution style skill. So as the unit's HP is lower, you will deal more damage to it to ensure the kill. And single target crit damage percent on your turn has been added as a line. Now this would be useful for things that rotate lots of turns. For example, Aegir is very good in this situation. Units that have 3 skills that are all single target can be really effective for this. Before, it was really focusing on, okay, do I want skill 1 crit damage, skill 2 crit damage, skill 3 crit damage? Now it's like, here, you can look at this line that gives you crit damage if you're a single target attacker. Now keep in mind, it does say on your turn, meaning revenge doesn't work. So keep that in mind. That's pretty much all. The rest of it's the QA. We can go over that at the end. I want to talk about what I think is good in the Substat artifact change. A lot of people have been coming by the stream asking about this. I think that everything that they improved is good. I don't think that the HP when revived or the attack bar when revived is that useful, but I'll talk about that afterwards. So increasing the minimum of the crit damage percent roll from 3 to 6 to 4 to 6 is nice, because you now go from having a chance to roll a blue artifact and instantly turn it into a green artifact. If you double min roll, you've basically lost an entire roll, right? Now, if you double min roll, you still have a roll and a third, which is still kind of sad, but it's definitely better. It makes it easier to roll better artifacts. It also makes it easier to have weaker artifacts that are more useful. So if you're someone who is not super far into the game, you're like the mid game, as they call it. I hate that term, but if you're in the mid game and you're someone who's just getting into artifact farming, blue artifacts will be easier to obtain a better one now due to the fact that they are overall stronger, right? One that I really like that they changed overall was that they changed the flat attack, defense, and speed gain proportional to lost HP. Now, a lot of people don't know how this stat actually works. The way it works is you get a flat amount of attack, defense, or speed according to the HP that's lost up to a maximum percent. So let's say you have 6% speed proportional to lost HP up to N%. So the way that works is for every 1% of HP lost, you gain 1 speed, right? So up to 6%. So after you've taken 6% of your HP, you're at 94% HP, you now have 6 bonus speed, right? They've changed that from 3 to 6 to 8 to 12. So now that the number is so much stronger, it's actually viable to use these stats on certain types of units. So attack lost proportional to HP percent, for example, could be a lot better on a Garo or a Miho or a Laika, you know, units that lose that HP and need the extra damage, right? Speed can be better in that sense. You could get 30%, you could get 30 flat speed now as you've lost 30% of your HP, right? These are things that are viable. Like Daphnis could use that to gain faster turns, for example, right? Defense proportional to lost HP in this situation. If you're a unit that needs to survive, right? You need that extra bit of tankiness when you're in the mid to low HP. If you've been dropped to 60, you know, now you're tankier. You have 30 more defense. You have 40 more defense. What we know, and this is not 100%, I can't guarantee you it's 100%, but the values for this is the flat attack, flat defense gained is +3 flat per 1% lost. And the flat speed gained. So for what we know, the flat attack and flat defense gained from this stat is +3 for every percent lost. And the plus speed is 1 speed for every percent lost. Overall, I think that that's a really good change. I think it's a great change to make it 8 to 12%. It actually makes all those stats viable. And just taking even one base roll of that is a bunch of free extra stats, right? 12%, 36 defense, 36 attack. 12 speed maybe, right? The change to speed increasing effect, obviously bringing up the minimum, same thing I talked about with the crit damage, recovery, accuracy, making it so it's not double min roll isn't a completely lost roll. Now double min rolls a roll and a third, a lot better. Increasing counterattack, attacking together, bomb damage, and crit damage received, bringing all the minimums and the maximums up is really nice. So now if you triple min roll, it's not a max roll gone, right? Triple min roll of counterattack is 3%. Basically the same thing as having 1 max roll, right? That's sad. 3 rolls gone. Now if you double min roll, then you have the max roll, right? So you've changed it from 3 times of a mineral to 2 times of a mineral. It's a pretty good upgrade overall. And they also increased the maximum, which makes it a lot stronger. So crit damage received to me is still not a super strong stat. I think it has potential to be a lot better. I would have liked to have seen it move to 3 to 5% or 2 to 5%, but I'm willing to take it where it is right now and see how that smaller adjustment is made. With life drain, this is one that is really crazy to me. Changing life drain from 1 to 3 to 5 to 8 could actually be super significant for units that already have built-in life drain or units that you normally run on vampire. Having that extra vampiric effect can be really, really strong for you. The HP and attack when revived, don't really think that's too great. Maybe it's helpful, but I don't think it's that great overall. Increasing the additional damage and percent HP, bringing up the floor of that from 0.1 to 0.2. I think it's great. I'm glad they didn't make the ceiling higher because that would increase the additional damage effect by too much, I think. But they made it a lot more viable. It's a lot stronger of a stat now. It's better to roll into, where before it felt like it was the weaker of all the stats, especially for RTA, right? In RTA, you lose HP over time, so that stat becomes weaker and weaker. Increasing the attack... So the attack increasing effect. So the attack increasing effect being changed from 3 to 5, I think is actually really, really viable, because when you compare attack buff and defense buff against each other, attack buff is 50% where defense buff is 70%. So having defense increasing effect be 2 to 4 with the 70% and having attack increasing effect be 3 to 5 with 50% kind of balances them out pretty well. I think it makes them a little bit more even, even though the numbers themselves don't look so even. It is because there is a discrepancy in the strength of the buff itself. I'm glad there's no change to defense increasing effect, additional damage by attack speed and defense. I think all of those are pretty strong overall and don't really need to be changed much. I'm a little bit upset that they're removing one of these stats though. The stat that I feel like they shouldn't have removed is damage dealt by reflect damage. I think they could have increased the value on it instead of removing it. Taking it away kind of takes away those niche units that already have bonus reflect. Jolton being a really good option for a lot of players. He's not free to play, but he is a 3-star, so he's a lot more obtainable in other things. You know, getting that on your Alexandra or getting that on your Lydia, you know, those extra stats could help, you know, one extra line of it or something. I am interested in seeing how these new stats work out, though. I really like the crit damage as N% of enemies HP condition is bad. I'm actually really interested to see how the 5 to 8% works with execute style damage, and I'm also really, really, really interested in seeing how single target crit damage percent on your turn applies. It is a pretty low value, 2 to 4%, but having it on multiple skills does give you more viability overall. So I'm excited to try it out on my Leica, my Miho, stuff like that. Just see how those work. Okay, so that's all the good things that I think. Things that I think are bad or weak or could use improvement. I think that okay, this might be a little controversial. I think that damage received should be increased at the maximum. And the reason I think that it should be increased at the maximum is because there are so many things that increase your damage and so few things that decrease your damage, right? So you have an artifact that increases your damage on the left side, and you have damage artifacts that increase your damage on the right side pretty significantly. Crit damage, attack increasing effect, additional damage. You also have, you know, if you're a bomber, you have bomb damage, where you have all those things. Like bomb damage ignores damage result from elements, right? Because bomb is a neutral effect. So it is a bit confusing in some senses when you look at it. But overall, there's really not too much bad about this. Obviously, I said already, I'm kind of sad that they removed damage dealt by reflect damage. I think they could have adjusted that instead. Overall, artifact changes, I'm willing to give it a 9. I think if they had adjusted or slightly adjusted the way that additional damage by percentage of stats was changed, I think maybe that would have given a 10 for me. I think additional damage is ridiculously OP still. I mean, I'll come out and say it. Additional damage by percent stat is insane. I'm not sure what exactly they could change that would balance it out right now. I want to say that maybe adjusting the true damage effect of it. For those of you who do not know, additional damage applies on every single hit in a multi-hit sequence, and it also ignores defense. So my Sierra, for example, does 800 additional damage per turn. at the beginning of RTA. If she's attack broken, I hit a defense buffed unit and I'm glanced, I'll hit that unit for like between 600 and 800 per hit. If I don't have those artifacts on, I'm hitting that unit for 50 to 130 to 150 maybe per hit. So additional damage is a pretty ridiculous stat, especially on units like Sierra, Okeanos. Ethna uses it really well. So overall, the right direction. I think that there are things that could be improved as always, but I'm very curious as to hear what you guys think about it. Do you think that these changes are good? Do you think that these changes are bad? Please leave a comment below if you have the time to write some detailed comments there. I love to look through the comments. I love to debate and discuss with you guys. I'm not here to tell you like you're wrong, you're stupid. Like we all have different opinions on things based on our own experience, and I just want to know what your guys' is so that I have a better understanding of how to cater content to you, how to explain different like aspects of the game to you. So please, if you have the time, leave a detailed comment about what your thoughts are on the artifacts. I will try my best to respond to all of them. Like I did say, I am kind of moving this week, so it is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I will try my best to get all of that out there. The one last thing I want to talk about is I've seen a lot of people complaining about artifacts because they're not changing artifacts that exist. They're not bringing up stats that are already there. The thing I want to say is that artifacts that were really good before this dev note comes out are still going to be really good afterwards. Your artifacts that are not that good and on the pretty bad side are not going to be better after, and even if they increase the stats that came with them, they're not going to be that much better anyways. So I think instead of getting so hung up on being like, wow, they're not buffing my artifacts that already exist, it's like, why can't we just appreciate that they're giving us better artifacts for the future, and now your ability to farm something stronger is easier, right? The comparison that I made on stream last time, and obviously it's not a perfect comparison, is like your really, really good artifacts is like eating at a 3-star Michelin restaurant. You're eating super high quality, you're having amazing food, and probably, hopefully, an amazing experience. Your really bad artifacts are like eating at, you know, McDonald's and they got your order wrong, right? If they increase the quality of your McDonald's and they stop getting the order wrong, why are you still complaining? You're getting something better no matter what, but you're still complaining because the things from before don't carry forward. Personally, I think like we should focus on the good things and we should probably harp less on all the negative stuff. CompToUs is doing a really good job with all of this. I'm going to get so much hate for saying that. You're a CompToUs supporter, you're on their payroll. I'll tell you right now, I'm not on their payroll. I wish. I am a CompToUs supporter. I think they do an amazing job with the community and with the game. And yeah, I don't know what else to say to that. But like I said, guys, please let me know in the comments what you think below. I am trying to put out about 2 to 3 Summoners War videos a week. I have 2 to 3 Pokemon videos a week as well. Promise I'm not leaving you guys just for Pokemon. We do it all. We do both. I've been playing a lot of RTA this season, so if you're interested in coming by the stream, I stream every day at 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. Eastern for usually about 3 to 5 hours, depending on the day. But yeah, like I said, you can always subscribe, click the bell, see what's going on with the videos. If you have any other questions, you can come by our Discord, as well as I do make posts on social media, so my Twitter and Instagram. I do have a new video. I have a new giveaway coming up soon. I have another figurine code to give away, which is 1,000 crystals, 1 Devilmon, and 1 LD Scroll. So make sure to check that out.